Welcome back, everyone. It is December 23rd, 1941, and we're here for another episode of Alphabet Command, our co-op game versus AndyMac. Let's see how this turn goes. Hopefully it does not end in the loss of a bunch of French destroyers like last one did. We'll see. I shouldn't have said that. I probably cursed myself here. These invasions continue on the Line Islands and elsewhere. AndyMac setting a very forward defensive perimeter here. Looks like some sub-action there off the coast of India. I'm going to have to be cautious about that. There's some skilled sub-commanders, some great subs that AndyMac has in that area. And I need to make sure my ASW assets are tasked with keeping them at bay. SS-118 misses the torpedo boat Nikapu. We have some mine action. I'm not sure where that was. Oh, but the Casablanca does what the 118 can't. Puts 2 torpedoes into it. Looks like maybe ships hitting mines at Pearl Harbor. Oh, this isn't good. Oh no. The Lutzow finds these ships headed toward safety of Cape Town, and I'm sure they're all going to go down. These are good ships too. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame. Oh, they don't all sink. So just one, which is kind of amazing. The AK Rona, though I don't know if the rest will make it out or not. There could be another engagement, and with the amount of damage, they could succumb to that later in the day. Lutzow is, of course, a German ship that starts the game in the southern Indian Ocean there, with the concept that she's rounded the Cape of Africa and is coming into the Indian Ocean. Little night bombing. One of the extra toys that AndyMac gets to play with in Focus Pacific is, of course, a few of those German ships. There aren't many of them, but they tend to be quite good. Which I guess is kind of similar how it was historically. Germany really didn't have a large navy, but the impact of the few ships they had was kind of outsized in the way that it tied up the British Navy. Yeah, another one of those tankers sinks. That's sad. Another ship goes down, I'm not sure where. Probably have a KB right around here, I imagine. You know, it's hard, in Focus Pacific we say the KB, but really there's several KBs in Focus Pacific. You can, as a Japanese player, you can have essentially 3 different task forces early game that are each the power of the historical KB. It makes it a little tougher as the Allied player to keep your keep tabs on them in stock war in the Pacific. As an Allied player, it's important that you keep your eyes on the KB so you know where it is at all times. In Focus Pacific, where there could be a few of them, it's a little more challenging. Let's finally some ASW action here with the Minesweeper here outside of Victoria, but does not put any depth charges in it, sadly. And we're on to the air operations. Lots of sighting reports here, of course. And sweeping of Clarkfield again. Evoken's planes are doing a decent job, though. Really putting the hurt on those sweeping zeros. But losing quite a few himself. So it looks like 5 zeros down. But 12 of our planes down. A 1-4 result there with those K-43C Oscars. And a 2-4. Bombing of Rabaul. I have moved my fighters out of Rabaul, and I think Evoken did as well to Port Moresby, because we know that after the carrier strike, we just can't defend it by the air. Too many planes were lost, too many were damaged. Another sweep here on Clarkfield. This time, taking out 5 planes, no losses. And this time 1-2. Maybe wondering why we're contesting the air at all here, and it's because that's important to keep pressure on the Japanese zero pools, even if we're taking outsized losses. Preventing him, because he only has a few airframes that he's using, the Zero and the Oscar, and the Tojo, I guess, but the only Navy plane is the Zero. There's a Quad, but no one cares about the Quad, it's terrible. In any case, the only good Navy plane is the Zero, and so the Japanese are entirely dependent on that one fighter for their Navy fighter needs, and so keeping the pressure on those zero pools prevents the Japanese from being able to fill out all their squadrons and replace losses. That's very different than the Allies, where the individual production numbers of the Allied planes are smaller, but there's many more types, so you can spread out losses among many different airframes and be in a better position. Bombing on Guam, and going after my troops west of Kandari. Then we're sweeping there, this time only doing a 1-1. And over Kwangshawan. I also moved my troops out of Kwangshawan, or my planes, I should say. Bombing of Georgetown. I saw a battleship group outside Kwangshawan, and I was afraid it was coming to bombard it, so I wanted to move my planes out before that happened. Turns out that, I think it was this group right here, turns out it was just headed south, so I didn't need to worry about it. Take out a couple Sallys there, or Sally and a Lily. Sally's coming to Sinkwang. I do have a little bit of cap up, and they managed to brush those Sallys aside. Dorniers come in, and they're going to get brushed off. Doing a little bombing here southeast of Moulmein, trying to slow that unit down. And also doing some here east of Pegu. There's thunderstorms there, though, so probably won't do a lot of damage. Evoken sends his P-40 Warhawks on a strafing mission, doing a little bit of damage there at Sambis. Gorglins come in, this time doing a little bit of damage. Again, hopefully slowing these troops down a little bit. Sweeping above Sinkwang takes out a demon. And some bombing at Muri here. Muri will probably fall today. More sweeping. This time, wow. Pretty devastating. 7 planes down, no Japanese losses at all. And it looks like another clean sweep there. This time, 7 planes, yeah, another 7 planes down, no Japanese losses. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And there goes another tanker. God damn it. We're on to the PM airphase. Well, bombing at Quengshawan. End of wake. Wonder why those Wildcats didn't fly. Could be that, could be the runway's already too badly damaged, I don't know. So here's that strike that I kind of knew was coming. So it looks like it's coming from 2 different carrier groups, one here and one here. This is why we moved our planes out, because this would just wreck, as it did, the ones that were left on the ground that were too badly damaged, but would have been devastating for these planes. Even more devastating than it was. More strikes in Christmas Island. Do a little bombing here at Sambis. To very little effect, though. That goes a little bit better, 47 casualties. Some of my French planes try to sneak in there, and they get handled by the cap. Catalina's tried to do the same north of Kaiving, and that's it for the airphase. So pretty painful airphase. We really didn't accomplish much, and man, we got pretty badly mauled by those sweeps. So we have a battleship bombardment of Rabaul. It is going to fall soon. Again, really glad we moved most of our planes out to Port Moresby before this happened. I have some submarine sinking sounds. I wonder if those are more subs that were hit by the mines earlier. 2-1 assault on Muri. Amazed that it's still hanging on there. And another attack at Lahui. 1-7 odds, but allies take more casualties. Attacking Christmas Island. And Wake. And that's it for the turn. So, not a lot portentous happened, but man, painful down in the southern Indian Ocean where we encountered the Lets Out, and painful in the air. Those clean sweeps are always really demoralizing when they take out a lot of your aircraft and you're unable to down a single one of their fighters. In any case, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the Discord.